To the left, one to the right, back to passes. Mills being rushed, and he will be sacked by Deep Tanner. Sacked.
And at 18th, the Iowa State 28-yard line. There's the inside little shovel pass.
I think that's Robert Allen.
17-10, handoff up the middle to Harrison. He's tripped up almost to the line of scrimmage. Great.
Defensive play as he is knocked down. Green and Schuster out of the eye. This is Amon Green, who is rocked at the 50-yard line.
From the 39-yard line, Corby Jones on the option play down the line of scrimmage left, cuts in and is smeared by Baron Tanner. Boy, Tanner there with Kavanaugh. 3 to the left and 2 to the right, and he's sacked way back inside the 30. And the penalty from the 20. Handoff goes to Gerard Douglas. Here's to his left. Oh, nice tackle. He's belted down the 19-yard.
One back is Henley, gets the ball to him, but boy, he's nailed back at close to the 20-yard line.
Behind Johnner. That's June Henley. Gets the handoff. He's being chased by Baron Tanner and tackled at the 9-yard line.
Oh, is the man in motion, and they're going to give it the end around, and tripped up. Rod Manuel makes the great play.
One to the left. Jason Mills hands off to Bo Harrison in the backfield. He's hitting down on a nice tackle by Roderick Manuel. Mills backs up, being rushed, and he'll be sacked again by by Roderick Manuel. 11. Direct snap to Chris James. He's retreating. Now he's being rushed, and he's sacked. Give the sack to Roderick Manuel.
Kind of day so far for redshirt freshman Jeff Dover as he finds Rod Manuel right on his back. And Manuel with his second sack.
Tied in. Only one back. Marlon Charles gets handled. A great play defensively by Oklahoma. That was
know it yet that he has the record. Dotson. Oh, he wanted Davis that time. Broderick Simpson. They make it Cedric Jones.
Watch this now. Handoff goes to the tailback, and he's tackled for a loss on a 4th and 1 that Baylor needed.
There. Shotgun. Deep snap. DeGar. He's sacked at the 19. First sack of this game, and that's, I believe, by Rod Manuel. 21-7. The snap. Deep snap to Kavanaugh. And from the shotgun, he's tackled. Rod Manuel sacks him.
On 3rd down and 10. Play action by Dover. He's got time. Now he's being chased out and grabbed and brought down. First man that got a hand.
To the left, one to the right, back to passes. Mills being rushed, and he will be sacked by Deep Tanner. Sacked.
And at 18th, the Iowa State 28-yard line. There's the inside little shovel pass.
I think that's Robert Allen.
17-10, handoff up the middle to Harrison. He's tripped up almost to the line of scrimmage. Great.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Doom.
What up, world? Live and direct, man. The locker room, man. Special edition, Thanksgiving edition. It's been one of them weeks. We live and direct. What's up, Red? You all right? We live and direct, locker room. Thanksgiving edition. I got Roderick Manuel in the building, Skyping in, OU legend, played in the NFL, Texas born, you know what I'm saying? We're going to let him get deep and talk some real football in action today and some life, a legend that lived it. My job is to bring y'all cats that really did it on a high level so y'all can get the scope of how it really works. I love y'all. Thanksgiving edition. We about to get live and rolling. Red, what's up with you, Red? Can you hear me,
in the
Red?
building, man.
You in the
Blessed
building?
to be here.
Rod,
Great
you
to be
with me,
my
Rod?
dog.
Yeah, the same here, man. What it do to all those out there who tuned in? Prepare your ears for some realness.
For some super realness. Introduce yourself, my homie.
Man, Rod Manuel, man. Roderick Manuel, the straight up government. Ain't nobody after me, so I can tell you that. Yeah, I mean, Rod Manuel, Roddy Dotty in my hood, just a laid back player, man, and trying to spread love and good vibes everywhere we go.
I see you got
And
that.
I give a little background on Rod, if you let me, real quick, Ray.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rod was one of my teammates at the University of Oklahoma. Had an outstanding career at the University of Oklahoma. Then got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Played there, then went on to play with Green Bay. Had a very good NFL career. Then moved on, played a few years at the Grand Rapids team for the Arena League, and then on to Los Angeles for the Arena League. He's been a good brother, a good community member, a good businessman for the last 20 years. And we need people like him that have been on that high level, like you said, Ray, that has experienced college athletics at the highest level, so he can teach some of these youngsters some of the potholes and some of the hang-ups and hiccups that you have to go through, the obstacles you had to overcome to get to the level of the NFL. And then after that, when the NFL may not have been as long as he may have wanted it to be, he still had to figure life out, and he's done a great job at that. Like I said, he's a great community man. He's a good father, a good husband, and just one of the people like yourself, Ray, that these people need to see and know and learn about and be able to touch and get that information. And we just appreciate him for taking the time the day before Thanksgiving to come on to the locker room. Shout out to B-Mac, even though he's not able to be with us, he's with us in heart and prayers and mind. He started the Thanksgiving festivities early. But again, we want to say welcome to Rod, give him a locker room podcast welcome. And Ray's going to have some questions for you. And if you guys have any additional questions or need anything as far as answers, feel free to chime in on Ray's Facebook Live page and ask any questions you may have.
Oh, man, I don't want to cut you off, but I appreciate you, brother. You made me feel good about myself. I ain't look at it that way. But continue. Go ahead. I like this already.
Hey, Seth been stepping it up, man. He been doing a real good job with it, man.
Hey, look, I didn't know you picked all that up from this weekend.
Hey, he a fast learner, man. You know we got to be fast on this level, boy. Hey, quick question. Man. Where you originally from, homie?
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, man. The west side of Fort Worth, Texas. If you're familiar with the area, Lake Como, community that's, rich in a lot of history, man. It's it's a little different from the other impoverished neighborhoods in my area, man. We're surrounded by billionaires to the north, millionaires to the east, and millionaires to the west, and also to the south. We're millionaires, and it's probably like maybe 2 square miles, But we grew up different. We grew up poor, but we grew up different. It's different when you can see these finer things across the street, or picking up a burger, you can see the Bentleys and the Ferraris and all of this. We were able to see that. So that was kind of a gift and a curse for us, because we chased that, and the next thing to chasing that is hit those streets. And coming up, some of our drug, not to brag, but some of our drug dealers were the biggest in the state because of that money surrounding us, And so me growing up, it was hard not to cross that line, when everybody around me is crossing that line. And, as a teenager, when it gets you know, to an impressionable age where the girls looking, you looking back, everybody fly and clean and got money in their pocket. You know, yeah, you play sports, but they really balling, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's when it get tough, man. But I got a strong mind, bro. You know, my mother is a phenomenal woman, man. It's you know, I describe it like this: like I never thought I needed a game because I knew I could call my mama. You know, and I knew what was coming with that. There was no question. You know, so she helped, you know, me knowing and feeling how strong she was. Yeah, it helped me steer away from a lot of things, you know, and you know, learning how to handle confrontation was an early thing, you know, learning when to let it go and when to, you know, go on and deal with it. So, you know, with that, growing up in that, man, I had to sit back and watch, you know, and figure out how I could get this, but where they couldn't take it. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
How can I get it where them people ain't gonna be at my mama door? I don't want to get her a house and then it's gone. You see what I'm saying? So now I got to, you know, I got to use what I got to get what I want. So, you know, I always love running, jumping the whole nine, you know, but once I saw or figured out that this is how I was gonna try to get to that life, that's what I went after, and everybody saw it, and then, you know, I never was bothered by, you know, gangs or, you know, the dealers. They, you know, they wouldn't even offer me a sack, you know what I mean? So,
but you know, that was a different era. That was a different era though, bro. Came up in that crack era when it started kicking off. And some of them dudes really live with morals and principles that kept us out of the game. Like, boy, you can change your family life. Stay focused, bro. Go do what you need to do. Yeah. So, you know, I understand that era, man. What high school was it, man? Because, you know, we all talk crazy in Texas, man, so the people can know.
Well, it's for Western Hills High School.
Okay.
Which is, like I say, and I tell people like this, my high school had a rodeo team. So
that's Texas. You Texas born, baby.
Yeah, man. I tell people like, yo, we had a rodeo team, bro, and like some of the best cowboys was my partners. You know what I mean? So,
man,
but I grew up in the hood, so you know we kind of bust there. But you know, I ran into a lot of good people, man. You know, white, black, yellow, green, purple, bro. It was just good people, and I was able to see good people from living on that side of town and being through sports. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Sports opened a lot of doors, the ones I didn't even know about. People look at you different when you're an athlete, you know, because if I was just my height, being where I'm from, dress how we dress, just somewhere, but if I had on my leather jacket, you know, it's a whole different party, you know, right. and I tested that. So, you know, it's Western Hills High School, man, west side of Fort Worth. You know, we had a good couple of years, but we hadn't been too much since we left.
So tell me this, bruh. So tell me this, coming up in that environment, at what age did you get focused in the sports and realize it could change you and your family's life? At what age, when you were in that environment?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, and I can tell you the exact age, exact day, exact spot where I was, bro. And it's crazy because when I was in the hood into the 6th grade. And so I failed the 6th grade doing hood stuff. Then my mom got a better job as an engineer, you know, General Dynamics. So we moved to a better side of town, different side of town. So the second time in the 6th grade, I was walking home because I used to ride the bus. You know, be on the bus with your friends, y'all. You know, there's really never no time to sit and think. So I'm walking home, and it just clicked. It was like, yo, you have problems doing your homework because when you get home, you're ready to go outside and play and practice. But if you do your homework instead of talking that last 5 minutes at school, then you won't have much to do when you get home. You see what I'm saying? So my thing was just doing it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was like my mind frame at the age like 13 just changed. It just flipped, and I don't know what to call it. But I remember that day once I started listening to my inner self, and I figured it out. And the road's been, you know. Road's been smooth, bro. So at like age 13, man, you know, I'm blessed because I know a lot of people at 45 hadn't figured it out. So,
hey man, and it's crazy you say that, bro. And for me, it was around the same age, going into middle school. It was like 6th, 7th grade when I got focused. My mom almost passed away, and it changed my life, my whole perspective, bro. So it's mandatory. You're gonna have them life-changing moments to where you just, I got to get focused out here. And I love the sport for saving my life, bro. Another thing,
man.
Quick question. How many sports did you play, bro? That's my thing. How many sports did you play coming up? Were you just a one-sport athlete? And for me,
nah, I'm two. I'm basketball, man. I'm all-state basketball, bro. I'm all-state football. And, you know,
yes.
You know, the thing about it, man, I'm telling you, I used to watch because I used to look for anything from Texas that was doing something. You see what I'm saying?
Real.
So I used to check. If they mentioned any Texas, I don't care, because it was so, you know, vast as far as somebody that I knew and could see or came from the same type thing I came from, actually made it on TV. You see what I'm saying? So,
right.
You know, man, I was basketball, man. I'm you know, 20, 21, what was it, 21, 18, you know what I'm saying? Like 4-5 blocks.
He said he double out the door, Red. You hear that, Red? He said he double.
He with it, though. He with it.
But look, man, I couldn't shoot free throws, save my life.
Hey, but you're a Texas boy, so I know you tough and you athletic just like me, so I already know what it is.
Man,
you gonna leave it all on the court.
I used to foul out a lot.
Ain't no fouls where I'm from.
What year did you graduate high school?
93.
93 with me.
Yeah,
So look, let me ask you this. What role, you being from Texas, did the 5-5 play in you seeing that, hey, it's two cats from Texas on the #1 team in the country, and they shine and they flossing. How you gonna do that?
They making changes, bro, and that's what I was just saying. I was like, bro, coming up, I see, I'm watching Ray. I'm watching Jimmy. Yeah, I'm watching Ray. I'm watching Jimmy. I'm watching Larry on the cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching everything, bro. And I'm like, dang, I made my numbers. I'm like, how many of them got the same number, even if it ain't the same? Oh, it's a lot of fours in there or whatever. So I'm like, I'm 44. You know what I mean? It's aspirational, bro, to see that, and then the movement y'all had, you know what I mean? So
the long shorts, they were the first one with the long shorts.
Bro,
stocks, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't even that. It was really the swag, bro.
The culture, yeah, the swag about it.
The culture, the swag, and the fact that they were from different, but they would have all won so early. Like, yo, y'all just really met each other. I know, you know what I mean? But how you know? You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang, it's some of that out there. You know what I mean? And we got some of it from Texas. You see what I'm saying? That's why I was looking at that like, yo, well then what I'm feeling is real. Go on, keep going for it. And that's how that affected me, bro.
Right. That's
real talk.
That's real.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned LJ, because LJ was one of my inspirations, bro. Especially once we started getting older, man. He was one of those guys that reached back, made sure we had bread in our pocket every year. He did all the real stuff a G's supposed to do that made it and went to the next level, bro. So, you know, he always was stiff to me, man. And I always watched Texas people like you around the country. I never had a problem with a Texas dude. That's the craziest thing. No matter wherever we met up at, it was always love, you know?
And you know what, man? And I watch things like that, because even if you're not looking for them, they're going to pop up in your view somehow. Yes. You're like, oh, yeah, you know, Jimmy from the 5-5, or, you know what I mean, Ray, or, you know, Jalen, or whatever's doing something after the game. You know what I mean? So I watched that, and I'm like, yo, that's dope, and that's what I want to do, no matter what scale I could do it on. And so what I did was, after arena ball, man, after a great career, bro, you know, a lot of people ask me, oh, do you miss ball? I'm like, nah, I don't miss ball, but I miss the brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? I miss the camaraderie. I miss the times before and after the game. I love the game, miss the game, but I don't miss that pain afterwards. Man. And so what I did was I came back and I got with this group called the Men of Umoja. And it's a mentoring group, and they mentored elementary, middle, and high schools around my school district, 405 SD. And so I got a chance to go with them through my pastor, and you know, they were doing good work. So what we do, we go into the schools, and we would be the go-between between the principal, you know, the kid, the principal, or the kid in suspension, the kid in expulsion. So we really had the power, you know. So I would go in You know, a lot of them were dressed in suits. They were older men. I was the youngest. I dressed, I got a collar shirt, you know what I mean, but jeans, but I'm nice sneakers. You know, some niggas look at and relate to and not feel like I'm talking down to them, you know.
Exactly.
So I tried a different little scheme with them, man, and I mentored middle school kids, at-risk youth is what they call them, but I just call them misdirected souls. So either way, I talk to them like humans. I listen to what they're saying when they, telling me or just, around the way, and then I apply it. And then it started to backfire because the teacher was mad that I had so much control, which it wasn't control, I just had respect. And so that's a disconnect in the school district that I was battling in
real life.
I'm dealing with that now, and I work in the school district, homie, by building real relationship with these kids. Some of those that can't build relationships with our children have a real issue with those that can, bro. And I'm dealing with that within my own school right now, homie. But go ahead, because I'm loving that. Go ahead.
So, I'm mentoring the kids, and once you pay attention, but once you tell a kid you listening and you really listen, then you really don't have to listen no more. You can listen with your eyes.
Exactly.
So you can see that kid, how that kid moving, especially if that's my only job, which that's why I don't give a teacher too much flack, because you have multiple jobs to do. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
My only job is to watch these kids, deal with these kids, so you don't have to, or when you can't, I will. And when, the school can't and ready to throw them away, I can step in and we can make, get some type of bridge. So, and I tell them the real, kid wouldn't come to school or this and that. They're like, oh, he's bad when they get here. I'm like, yo, he smells. You don't smell him?
Right.
But he's not old enough to do nothing about it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, he don't have, he's sagging, because them his uncle's clothes and he don't have a belt.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I started belt drive. I started, shoe drive. I started, clothes drive. Whatever you got, your kids, cousin, uncle, they don't want, just bring it up to the school, put it in here, I'll wash it, hand myself, and have it ready in the pantry. So moves like that, man.
Yeah.
They respect, and then even if it doesn't work at their school, whenever they leave and wherever they land or whenever they hit rock bottom or see another man similar, and be like, okay, it's more than one of them, and he remind me of Mr. Rod. That's what they call him, Mr. Rod. And so somebody cares. Not everybody is trying to kick dirt on you since you're down. So I just want to at least just say some kind of spark, and I'm like, yo, everybody ain't pieces of everybody ain't POS. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and every black man don't want nothing from you, and every black man ain't trying to do nothing to you. You see what I'm saying? Man. So
hey, boy,
I just help them broaden their horizon.
Hey, boy, you said some real stuff, and that's part of the reason we have you on this show, and this is what Seth is talking about. We're going to uplift real men in the community in the trenches that are doing the dirty work that a lot of people don't want to do or even talk about, bruh. This is the day-to-day interactions with our youth that we need. We're going to take a quick break in the quarter, then we're going to come back. It's the Locker Room Thanksgiving edition, man. We kicking it. Short day. We get ready for this party, this alumni party. We're gonna put this fly up, Mr. Do Right, so they can know Black Friday, it go down. Ginger's Lounge, baby. LBJ alumni, y'all know what it is, City of Austin. We coming together and we gonna kick it. Stay tuned. Second quarter of the Locker Room. We coming right back. Hey, we right back at it, baby. I hope y'all read the flyer and know what time it is, too. Shout out to my guys at Mena High School football team. They're in the third round of the playoffs this week. That Friday on the 29th, before the party, at 6 o'clock, they'll be at the Pflugerville Stadium playing against Cedar Park High School. We got some of the kids y'all seen since they was babies performing. Third round state playoffs, Mena, Ginger Lounge. After that, right across the street. It go down in Pflugerville, Texas. This, we represent Central Texas, LBJ, Texas, Northeast Austin, Texas. We doing it. But we right back at it, man. Seth was supposed to get my liquor down here, man. I don't even know if my liquor gonna show up. But best believe we're gonna have bottles anyway. You know how we do. But let's get back to it, Red. We were talking about these nonprofits, man, and building this gap. Setting up this link to close the gap. How do you think, we can get this rolling, Red? Because you in Illinois and you see a lot of the same things that Rod is seeing in Fort Worth and the same thing I'm seeing in Texas, Red. We got Seth up. You got him muted. Because I can't hear none of it.
Get some exposure together as a group more than we would be able to individually. And just like anything else, it's just a matter of putting it together, starting a discipleship, starting a fellowship, getting a curriculum, get a mission statement, get some goals lined up, and then proceed. Because we got enough good brothers that care about the kids and care about the communities that we can make a real change and real difference. And just like all three of us, we all got connections with Nike and Under Armour and Puma and Pepsi and Coke. So it's just a matter of us being able to put it all together and put our voices together and talk about doing some real stuff, some good stuff for the communities, boys and girls clubs, any of those mentor programs. And it's not something that people think, hey, I got to commit my life to it. I got to commit to church, like a church or something like that. This is something to help kids, help people that need help, helping their kids. Like you said, something as simple as clean clothes, something as simple as a meal before they go to bed. I'm working on a community project in Illinois to where it's a help center. We get some computers in there where inner city kids that don't have the same resources that some of the suburban kids have, they can go in there, they can do their homework on the computers. They got free Wi-Fi, they can play games. We get a snack in there for them after school and then get dinner for them before they go home. That alleviates a lot of the problems that goes on because if the person has to go home and watch their mom get beat up by her boyfriend, he don't need to see that. Them kids don't need to see that. They don't need to be a part of that. So if we can occupy them doing something positive, getting them some education, some tutoring with those computers, with an opportunity for some advancement and to see a better environment in a safe and protective environment, I think it's a win-win, and it's something that I've already implemented. There's programs like Meals on Wheels that would also contribute to the program. So, I mean, it's a number of different things. We just need to all put our heads together on a larger national level because, like we're represented heavy in Texas and Oklahoma, as like both of you being in Texas. We got 10 more guys in Texas as well. But we also have people in Florida. We got people in Illinois. We got people in Michigan. We got people all over, man, California. So it's just it's great that like-minded men, black men, have the same mindset and the same want to help our communities. And some of those communities, like you said, people didn't let us get in harm's way. When we wanted to gangbang, when we wanted to sell drugs, they wouldn't let us do it. I mean, there's people in my neighborhood, everybody know, they would keep me all the way away from it, no matter what I wanted to do. And y'all the same way, and we need to keep that going and get back to that because nowadays kids don't have no value on anything, and they don't care about anything. And if we can start at an early age, like Ray always say, it's easier to help a young kid than to repair a broken man. It's easier to work on a kid, teach a young kid than repair a broken man. And that needs to be our emphasis and our focus.
And see the thing, and one of the things that I'm big on, Red, right now is trying to push the funding aspect of it. So the guys that really love it can really make money off doing this and feed their families. Because a lot of guys don't do the community work and stuff because the funding ain't there, the money ain't there. They can't feed their family and pour back into the community like they need to function in this world. So The biggest thing is finding the funding and making sure that the funding is in place. Because we got the guys all over, but we spread thin, and our team is growing, but we still need to build that funding up so we can bless the next generation the right way. Rod, what's your thoughts on that,
And that's the thing
bro?
that I was working on down here with me and a buddy of mine from, he was in Florida. We were talking about it, but we were thinking, well, first step we were thinking was just find the core requirements for every school district. I'm sure they have at least 3 or 4 or 5 guidelines that are the same around the state, around the country. And once we find that, then we'll be able to know what we could deal with as far as how to make the curriculum. You see what I'm saying? So once those 2 steps are done, then the rest is, let it be known that we have this available through the network we have, through the honeycomb, and then, see who bites, and then, send representatives to present the program or whatever, because the money is there. And everybody says, and a lot of people are acting on trying to do something to help inner city kids.
Right.
And like I said, nothing's more helpful than something else to do. You see what I'm saying? And that's with anything. If you're trying to quit something, change something, give up something, you need something in return. Someone needs something else to focus on. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's what makes the program work, with the kids. You can sell it and put it in the school, and the school, everyone else, we met our quota, we have the program in for this, and that, so we should be okay. But for it to actually work, and you have to have people that are relatable to the kids. And, these kids, some of these kids take light voice talking, but some of these kids take a little stern talk. Some of these kids take a little MFing. But you have to build a relationship with them before you have to know them first, to where that MF is not just MF, it's an endearing MF, but it's their language. You see what I'm saying? So now they got somebody at school they can talk to, and whoever they talking to at home does not tell them nothing good. You see what I'm saying? So, that's how I kind of came, and that's my mentality of the program I want to have set up. You got to have something ready to work from the inside out.
And you right on point, man, because that's how I address it. Coming up in a black community, working in a black community, being part of the educational system of a black community, you have to build those relationships first, and then you know how to address those kids. We have too many people working in our communities that are not familiar with our kids and have no understanding of our homes. And like you said earlier, the kid coming to school upset or late or tripping, he smell bad or he ain't ate. He been up all night. He might have slept in the car. And they not even taking that into consideration, bruh. But this is one of the things I want to ask you, because we going to link, man. God do great things and bring great people together. How did Oklahoma change your perspective on life? Once you left Texas and got to the University of Oklahoma, how did your perspective shift from the way it was prior to?
Well, man, and really and truly, the first place I ever went out of Texas was Oklahoma, and it was to the University of Oklahoma. Wow. They gave some guys some comp tickets my junior year, and after that game, we drove up. It took us 6 hours to get there in a Pinto, and we were 16. I still don't figure out how. I still can't figure out how that happened, bro.
Real
Catalytic converter fell off on the way back, but anyway, that was my first trip up to Norman, bro. And so when it came down to it, all the visits that I decided to take, when I went there, it felt like home. And then I wanted something that was far enough from my mama, but not too far. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so it all worked out. And then they were gonna let me play both. They were gonna let me play basketball and football. But pretty much every school I visited was. So it was pretty much everything I wanted, and then I'd always hear about the Sooners, because friends of mine were lifelong Sooner fans. So it was kind of like, it was already in there. It was already in the works, man. Right. So when I got there, it just felt like home. And like I told you, when I first got on campus, that was said to me. You know what I mean? If I'd have been weak and a sucker, it probably would have wanted to fight him, or went to my room and called, these dudes tripping. Nah, but I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to say what I said. I was supposed to do what I did. I was supposed to get a nickname from a legendary D-line coach. I was supposed to have, legendary coaches and legendary things happen while I was there. So it felt like I was where I was supposed to be, no matter the ups or the downs, because it was a lot of those. You see what I'm saying? But it always felt like I was there, and I was given opportunities to leave, you know, when coaching changes and this and that. Some of my hardest buddies like, man, I'm transferring, or I'm about to declare for the league. If you want to just go to school somewhere else, I'll help you out. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't got nothing else. You know what I mean? I don't even know where to go after this. I have never had another school in my mind. Right. You see what I'm saying? Real. So I'm where I'm supposed to be. So I'm gonna ride this out, and it turned out, you know, here we are.
It worked out great. Now you might know one of my classmates, man, Mario Freeman, played linebacker up there.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, yo, man, my man, like, yo, you know what? And all the time. Oh yeah, my boy Ray, man.
That's my Ray, man.
I'm like,
that's
yo,
my G, bro. He
and
like
what's crazy,
you, bro.
Mario, when I was up there in Ann Arbor,
he came up there.
Mario
You met him when he came up there.
Yeah. And then when I got to OU, he like, what?
Say,
Rob, but he like you though, Rob.
Dude, that's hard when it ain't called for.
When it ain't even no time for it, huh? But hey.
We in the bunny rabbit shop with with marshmallows. What is you? Why you on right now? Oh, good. One of these rabbits, I know one of these rabbits gets jumpy, man. Oh, yo, chill out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's my man.
Hey, brother, but yeah, man, real good dude, man.
Yeah, he's similar to you though. That was the thing. He wanted Oklahoma from the day we was youngsters. He always said Oklahoma, bro. And he made it happen. And he weathered the storm through all good and bad and made the most of it, bro. And that's my
real
man.
Dude, man. And like I said, going and seeing that and how I know real dudes and dudes, I'm looking at like, oh yeah, he NFL material for my idea. You see what I'm saying? But then finding out who really was NFL material. Like my class had a lot of dudes that was #1 in the country, and they, you know, whatever, and they billboards and the whole nine, the handshakes when they get there and all that. But at the end of it, like, dude, I got picked for y'all. You know what I mean? So that taught me another thing at Oklahoma. That taught me like, yo, don't judge a book by its cover. Judge a man by what you see. You know what I mean? And no matter what nobody say or tell you, keep doing you. Don't let them deter you, and that's another thing I learned from Oklahoma, man. Man,
don't fall with them distractions. Them distractions can throw you off, but don't let it do it. So tell me this though.
That's a whole nother segment, bro.
Yeah, you already know.
I had dudes from my hood that got scholarships, but they all got sent home after the first year. So before I went to school. I never knew what got them sent home, but I went to school knowing it could happen, and I'm looking for those pitfalls. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that look like one of those. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things going up helped me, you know, from dudes not being successful before me and classes before me with opportunities, and then they just squander them. And I'm like, you know, and I had that on my mind, like, yo, I don't know what it was, but it's
I'm seeing that right now with our generation. We got a group of kids at the J that have looked at previous classes and watched them blow opportunities. And these kids are jumping on them scholarships now. They staying focused. They moving away from that extracurricular BS. They like, man, these boys back home on the streets looking raggedy and looking crazy. I better take advantage of this scholarship. You know what I'm saying? So you saying some real stuff.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, is this what happened to you? You know what I mean? I didn't know because it wasn't nobody before me to make it to this level. And that's what made it hard in the league also. Who can I talk to when it's rough? Who can I talk to about these type problems? Nobody. Really talk to.
So then that's my next question. Who was the male figure in your life, homie? Did you talk about your mother, but I don't hear much about a male figure. Who was the male figure in your life that held you down?
Bro, God sent me a whole bunch of coaches. You hear me?
Real.
And I knew who my pops was. I had my pops, but you know, his situation, he was out there, you know, but his situation was a little different, so I didn't harbor it against him like the average kid would. My pops was paralyzed. He was paralyzed since I was 4 for domestic violence on my mom. She ended up shooting him. You see what I'm saying? So he was paralyzed since then. Then when he started, you know, he was on drugs when she shot him, which is why he didn't die. And then later on, he got back on him. I'm like, hey, bro, I can't really hold it against you. You know what I mean? You know, now that I'm knowing who I am, and if I'm from you, then I'm a powerful man, And you know what I'm saying? I know it's killing you to be half of that. You see what I'm saying? So
no doubt.
I kind of didn't, but I could go to you. I knew where you were. I could get you, and then he still could make moves. You know what I mean? But, you know, so I really didn't hold him against me. So that really let me enjoy coaches that came into my life that were doing things that, you know, that made sure I made it to all my visits on time, picked me up and got me breakfast, or, you know. And, you know, really my high school coach, man, was a great dude. You know, and again, I had guys from the neighborhood. You know, I had friends and guys and their dads, but he wasn't really just, you know, one solid guy. But then that would help me. I'm like, I know it takes a community. I know it takes a, you know what I mean, it takes a team to raise a child.
Right.
You know, from experience. So that's why I try to join a team. That's why I want to be on a team or part of a team that's doing that. That's looking out for. That's how I can talk to these little boys, because I know what they, you know, I know what they feeling.
Yeah, with that village, and that's what it takes, bro. Is a village. You saying it, and see, that's why I get so mad when I see coaches now mishandling the position and just getting it for the money. You know what I'm saying? Because that position in our communities has been truly valuable and has nurtured the life of a lot of great young men and women, bro. So I hate to see it. I'm in the midst right now picking what high school my son is gonna go to, and I'm looking at programs to where somebody's gonna nurture my kid. Even though I'm there, I need somebody else to pour into him the same way that daddy would, and not, you know, give him that fugazi love, bro. So it is what it is, bro. Let me ask you this, man, and you know, we keeping it smooth. The day you went to the league, man, what was the thought process in your mind, and how did it jump off? Explain that feeling, man. We celebrating too. We grind, we get it,
bro. So again, man, I played a year and a half on offense at tight end, third team. Then I played a year and a half on defense, but I came as an outside linebacker, being 200 pounds. So I'm just trying to get in where I fit. You know, I wasn't never, I played it, now I'm a football player. You put me out there. You know, so when I got out there, I just, you know, went for what I know. And I didn't expect to get drafted, bro. You know what I mean? I played 11 games total. You see what I'm saying?
11 games, bro?
No, I played, I'm at 15. 15 total games on defense, bro.
That's a season and a half.
Right. And so when it came around and the agent was courting me, I'm like, yo, you courting me? I ain't got to look for one? Like, yo, what is it? I'm really not knowing. You know, I'm not really, you know what I mean? I don't know, because when I thought I knew who was going, they
ain't looking at
him.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, man, I don't think I'm as cold as them or have much pub as them. So either way, so, you know, we usually, you know about the Capitol. You know what I mean? We usually shoot down to the Capitol that weekend, and they wouldn't even follow. You know what I mean? So I, you know, shoot down there. So this time I decided to just chill and just hang out and watch the draft. Right. So my agent like, yo, they gonna call you, a couple people calling. I don't know what that means. So I'm sitting at the house and we just with the family, and my name on the phone ring, and it's defensive coordinator. He's like, yo, this is for the Steelers. You know, coach want to talk to me. So I'm like, okay. So the family back there, you know, I'm like, okay, I don't know what he finna, I still don't know what he finna say. Yeah. I tell me, get invited to camp or whatever. So anyway, they're like, yeah, you know, we want to have you. We like what you see, like when we visit with you, you know, so get ready to celebrate with your family when your name come across the screen. I'm like, well, all right, well, appreciate it, coach, and hung up the phone. And it came across the screen, and I was like, yo. And so they took a picture from my neighborhood paper, and I forgot about it. And so I just saw it the other day, and it's still in circulation. It's around, it's a lot of people have it in my neighborhood, houses that were just, you know, that knew me or told me to get off their porch, or, you know, I had for a drink of their water fountain, you know, just people that I would cross paths with it in the past that would really be like, oh, I remember him, he was a little bad kid, he wasn't gonna amount to nothing, you see what I'm saying? But now on the flip side of that, they proud that they had to cuss me out or whatever. I busted their window, you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it changed a lot of things, it really flipped everything. So now I'm like, yo, mama, you made somebody that's worthy. Yo, sister, all that we went through and what you did, and you know what I mean, looking out for me, it was worth it. You see what I'm saying? So it changed a lot, bro, and it was one of the best feelings in the world, man. I didn't know what to expect next, but I'm like, shoot, I don't care, whatever this lead me, I'm down with it. You know, I done jumped in the
No
car a
doubt,
lot of times, you know what I mean, with that in mind, made it out safe, but let me ride this one right here. So, man, it was a great feeling, bro. Can't explain it to this day.
Man, that's a blessing, bro. And I know the biggest part about that, like you said, is being able to share the moment with family, bro. You know what I'm saying? And changing the lives of your mother, sister, and those that are involved with you. Now, I got a couple quick questions because I know you ready. You got family. It's Thanksgiving. I got a couple questions. Then we're going to get up out of here quick.
Got I was able to give my mama that house.
Yeah.
And that's what we eat Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. So she still got it.
Yeah. We talked about that house off camera. Yes. Hey boy, that's God is real.
Yeah, little boy just swam in the pool. You hear me? I was like, man, that's some thing that's living to me. You hear me?
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm talking about. So check it out. I got a couple questions for you. Who's the best player, football-wise, you ever played against?
Ooh. Like, played against personally or played against on a different team, like seen play?
Seen play, period. Played with or played against?
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders. I heard that too many times. That's
It's,
real.
It's unbelievable. You can believe a man can move like that in person.
It's like that. I just had Ty Law and them on here last week, my man Ty Law, and he was saying, and Damon Jones, they were saying the same thing. Everybody keeps throwing Deion Sanders up there. That's crazy, bro.
3 totally different positions, 3 random people, and they all say the same.
They all say the same thing. That's why.
You don't believe your eyes. It's hard to believe you seeing what you seeing. You're like, what? So it's still, to this day, I don't know.
We crowning Deion. We might have to crown Deion the GOAT, Red. After this, we might. I mean, he right there with Mike, huh?
I don't know. I don't know no other way, bro. Deion, what it is. I seen him up close in person. Rod, when Wendell was down with the Cowboys, I went and watched him. And actually, Ray, Les Miles was the linebacker coach at the Cowboys, and I went down there a couple of their practices because it was when Wendell was about to play Dan Marino last game for Thanksgiving. I went down there. Wow. And man, Deion went into practice to the locker room and it was when he was playing receiver and DB, and he went in there with some black tights and some blue tights, and he asked the DBs, he said, which color y'all want me to run by y'all in today?
That's that real talk. That's that real talk. But that man put in the work too, boy. That man put in some real work. So
He's
tell
a lot
me
smarter
this.
than people give him credit for.
So Rod, tell me this, being a Texas boy, we switch it to music, Rod.
Yeah.
What's your favorite group coming up out of Texas, bro? Coming out. Who you rock with?
Before you answer that, let me give you a little disclaimer, Ray. Rod on the studio. Rod been in music for about 15, 20 years. He do with the music like we do.
That's why I want to hear it.
Hey, bro, I'm a direct descendant of the pimp, man. You know what I mean?
P.I.
The pimp talked me through a lot of this, man. Texas.
That Chad, huh? Pimp Chad.
UGK for life, man. UGK for life, man.
Yeah.
You hear me? Two brothers that was smart on totally different wavelengths, but the same wavelength. And with that said, I don't know if you about to ask me a favorite group all around. I'm gonna go and tell you, Outkast, Aquemini is my favorite album.
Hey, boy, you a true Texas cat, bro. You know what it is, bro. Them stories and them albums then got us through a lot of episodes, boy, in life.
Ooh, man. The Ghetto Boys saved my life, man.
Ghetto Boys changed my life, too. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. That's my group, bro. Being from Austin, Texas, it wasn't nothing like Willie Dennis and Brad Jordan when they hit that mic, man. That changed my life.
And just to hit on that, and how different are things and how times change. The Ghetto Boys, the cats that was the worst on earth compared to anything, according to white folks. Now they both running for city district and city aldermen and stuff.
Are they in the trenches, Red?
Yeah.
They in the trenches. They know what it takes. That's why their music is so monumental. You see Bun B professing a lot of other things at some of these historic universities. What they was teaching us.
Fish and Willie D running too, huh?
Hey, man, Willie D and Brad running. You know what I'm saying? But that shows you why I get so mad at the music some of our kids listen to now, man. We had real teachers. They was telling some crazy stories, but they were being honest about the stories they was throwing out there. It wasn't nothing fugazi or made up, fabricated, bro. It was crazy.
And I'm gonna be real
then.
with you. It is one youngster that we as old heads, we can't hate on all the youngsters.
Oh yeah, it's more than
One youngster that I
one.
do kind of vibe with and groove with, he in Rod backyard.
Who is
Yellow
that?
Beezy about that life.
Oh yeah, them boys love that Beezy kid. But it's a few of them. They just don't give them the airplay like we got back then. Once they got that agenda to put out that bubblegum rap, they stuff the airways with that. You got to search for them young cats now.
So with the Yellow Beezy, right? And say if I'm down with you, I've been down with the little cat before they blew up, you know. So this is my thing, and what we were talking about earlier. Him and another cat down here, they had a city on lock. No, him and Mo 3.
Yeah. Mo 3 shot at.
But yeah, the whole beefing thing. But they used to be partners. So if it was somebody in their life somewhere that was a mentor that they could lean on in this time of this is a precious time in their lives, a precious time for the city, precious time for the culture down here in Texas, in the North Texas. You see what I'm saying? And they beefing. And it's really over some nothing, you know what I mean? But they don't have nobody in their corner now that they eating, making money, and they the breadwinners that can really tell them like, yo, squash it. Like, this is fucking up centuries of money.
They need to take Prince. I think somebody in Yellow Beezy here now, though.
Yeah, but no, because I'm here. I'm really. Some of the people that's real tight to it, you know, just left the place, just left the spot. So you know what I mean. So I'm knowing that it ain't like it should be. But anyway, that's the type of thing that I'm hoping to prevent with what we can roll out. You know what I mean. We get together and do this with this mentoring. You know what I mean, mentorship deal. Because it's like, yo, if half of these rappers that was beefing got together, it would be twice as many Jay-Z's and P. Diddy's. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It would be twice as many of them.
And another aspect to the community centers that I want to do with the computers, I want every facility to have a studio. All these kids want to do music anyway, and you can't get in the studio unless you got your work, unless your grade's good.
But
so that means no knuckleheads allowed. So it's a good tool to entice kids, incentivize kids to do good in school.
That's a sweet one there, brother. Because then you got producers coming up there saying it's not just musicians. You make producers, you make engineers, you make
directors.
Artists. You give people freedom to be themselves, and then the ones that are nerds. Most of the best artists today used to be nerds and outcasts. You see what I'm saying? These young ladies that singing and these Lizzos and these Hers and all, they used to be outcasts.
Yes.
And you know how quick they could be in cast if what they were good at was at school. You see what I'm saying? Just like an athlete. You know what I mean? That's the same way.
Same way we needed encouragement, they need encouragement.
Right, bro.
But the platforms have to be there. We have to open those platforms. I work at a school, and I walk past a studio every day that hardly gets used, to where we could be fully operating a radio station and a whole lot of other stuff, bruh. So the platform has to be there. Those in charge have to really care about nurturing them kids and putting those things in front of them that they really cherish. You know what I'm saying? Some of my kids don't want to go to school and play ball. You know, let's get them involved in some other things early so that they can make that money and prepare for the next phase of life and take care of their families, bro.
This is what I used to tell them. Some of the kids, I'm like, bro, everybody's not good in school. I said, but you're going to need to know how to read. You're going to need to know how to count. No matter what you're going to do.
No doubt.
So don't skip those two classes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You need some PE because you're a little chubby and this food is hard. But other than that, bro, do not skip them classes. So they laughing you crazy. I'm like, yeah, but I'm real. And they be in class every time. They got a problem they can't handle. They'll come to me, can you help me with this, Mr. Ride? You know, and then I help them, you know, do like that. So that's a relationship. But then I also tell them, bro, you're not a failure because you can't get this curriculum that really ain't for you. Right. You know what I mean? But just get out of it what you need to get so you can do what it is for you. And that's what I do, man. And
that's what we all do, bro. And that's a blessing, man. Yeah. I'm not going to hold you much longer, but my counterpart ain't here, Worldwide B. He already kicking it Thanksgiving-wise. He the chef and do it all. His question to all my legends that come on the show, how do you want to be known when you pass on and move on? What is your impact? What is your legacy? What do you want Roderick's legacy to be known as when you move on, bruh?
Well, as far as to my community, my young black kings and queens. You see what I'm saying? I want to be known as a guy that, or as a, I don't know if they see me as a star, but a star that they were able to touch or feel like they could touch and constantly see. A star that helped them get comfortable with seeing stars. So if they are one, you know, they won't feel awkward longer than they should. You did?
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, if you can see it, you can be it. If you can touch it, you know, if it's normal to you, then it's not, you know, abnormal and something you don't feel you can obtain. That's,
hey boy,
I want to be that guy.
That's big, and that's big. And it's rare that we have guys of your stature in the community still doing the trench works, bruh, and blessing our people. I love you. We linked in from this point on, bruh. You're going to have to send me some information so that we can start connecting, because that I-35 corridor ain't nothing. I can burn up that highway, and likewise, bruh, and we can make it happen.
Hey, look, I'm listening to this party. I'm like, yo, should I try to get down there? You know what I mean?
Hey, boy.
After you eat, ain't nothing jumping on that weekend.
And what I'm sitting there telling you, if you want to, boy, we would love to have you. I got a table for you. Come
Ray
out
gonna roll out that red carpet for you.
Man,
let me sit down and see, because you know, I got some things straight now, but that show sound like a good thing, and I really ain't never kicked it in Austin. You know what I mean? Just because of my Texas bias.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all both got black queens too that would really enjoy each other too, and could game each other up too, bro. I'm gonna let both of y'all know that.
Yeah, most definitely. Wifey and everybody more than welcome.
We'll get that exchange. We'll get that exchange, and we'll see. I shall let you know real soon.
Man, and anytime, bro. It ain't even got to be this weekend, but we link for life from this point on, bro. I appreciate you. Love and blessings on everything you doing. We're going to talk soon. We locked in. Red, cut the turkey, man. Make sure everybody happy and safe. Who is that pretty girl in the background, Red?
Jay. Yeah, she got to say hello to y'all.
I know, I seen her.
Sister said hello, so she want to say hello.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh.
This is my baby right here, the 15-year-old.
15-year-old?
Hey.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
That's right.
Yeah. Keep giving daddy the business.
Yeah, they say keep giving daddy the business.
Stay on his
come
back.
Here, knuckleheads, all three of y'all. Come here. Hurry up. Come here, Jack.
Hey, boy, this the locker room. This the family edition. Y'all gonna see more of the family.
Come here, James. Get your big butt up. Jackson, come on.
They don't even want to get on live.
And Brian, where little man at? Yeah. My nephew Jackson.
What up, though?
There go James.
Hey, man. Hey, let me tell you this. And I said that.
Hey, here go my oldest, Ray.
She beautiful. She look like she love Texas.
Yeah. Hey,
so you got the divas and the bodyguards for him. Hey, Jane been too quiet too long. He in there knocked out.
He gotta be. Yeah, I figured he gotta be.
Well, he in there knocked out in my spot like he me.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Hey, man, it's funny, Red, and I'm looking at your family too, and I text Nuke. I saw the Michigan game today. I say, Nuke, damn, can you recruit one dark-skinned nigga on the team, man? Everybody light-skinned, bro. Like, can y'all get one dark-skinned Smith in the family, bro?
Yeah.
We need one dark-skinned Smith in the family, bro.
Nah, my oldest brother darker than you, bro. He'll be here tomorrow.
Hey, man, but I ain't gonna hold y'all longer. Love and blessings. It's the locker room, another classic edition, Thanksgiving edition. We got Roderick Manuel, NFL great, Texas great, legend, my man Red. Hey, boy, I love you, Red. My producer, our host, Kevin Do-Right. Hey, I love y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see y'all again, same bad channel next week.
Boomer sooner, so we can go on and do what we need to do and go blue all the way around.
Nah, we're going to talk to Rod when the conference title game come back around. We're going to get Rod back on because I think Baylor wants some of that, Rod. I think they really want something on you.
Hey, I tell myself on the highlight reel, you're going to same thing going to happen. They're going to disrespect and get their feeling hurt. It's always a pleasure, Ray. Man, you already yourself, man. Just how they gonna be.
Love y'all, man. Yeah, peace and blessings. Y'all eat too much tomorrow, man.
All right, love and blessings. The locker room, baby. Hey, we'll see y'all on the 29th, Black Friday, baby. Jaguar edition. I love y'all. Peace.
All right.
All right, fellas.